This is unbelievable.
How goes it, window lickers? Anybody out there who is part of the household, if you're a Chaos Goblin, we're glad you're here. And, well, yeah, it's another Monday Night Raw review show with me and Kevin Kalloway, the Chaos Goblin, out of the In Your House network. And we're ready to talk some Monday Night Raw. But first, we're going to get into our shtick, our what we normally do, what we get into. So, fans, strap in and get ready for this Monday Night Raw review. But before we do, Kevin, how goes it? How you been doing, my friend? What's new with you?
Not too much, honestly. Just I beat a game with some friends over the weekend called Directive 8020. You might appreciate this. It's very heavily influenced by The Thing, the horror movie The Thing,
Okay.
where we all it's a 5-player game, and everyone controls a different character, and you have to try and make decisions to get everyone through without dying. There are multiple branching butterfly effecty paths where if you fuck up here, it might come up, 3 chapters later and kill you. Where it's a really cool concept because I get together with some of my high school friends every time one of these games come out, and we each take a character, and then we have to try and work as a team to keep these characters alive, but also laugh at each other when we inevitably fuck it up at some point.
That's awesome. I
It
like
was
that.
it was a really fun time. We beat the game in one day. It was about an 8-hour experience, which is perfect. And it was good. And then I got my first round of golf in on Saturday that I have. The second round of golf I had in 15 years. And played all 18. Shot like shit, but it was a lot of fun. And a rip shot, I did catch the England game. Congratulations. Know that Holland is inevitable, and Norway is coming.
That well, from what I've seen from you guys, yeah, that sounds to be like there's a storm or brewing
It
and
should be a
getting
good
ready
game
to go.
regardless.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. Well, looking forward to seeing the chat between you guys because, well, the chat gets kind of wild
Yeah.
when it gets into World Cup talk.
I mean, another big event is that the U.S. got absolutely bounced from the World Cup badly,
That
four
is
to
true.
one.
That
Oof,
is true. Yeah,
and rough.
yeah, that one did not sound or what I seen in the highlights look too good for them.
No, it looked terrible for the U.S. But at some point, the U.S. was going to get exposed by a team. I didn't think it would be that bad by Belgium. Belgium definitely had better players, but I think a lot of the conversation around the game probably put a lot of pressure around the U.S. And boy, their defense was fucking abysmal. Terrible. Just ball watching. The goalie literally had it stolen from him once. It was a collapse. It was bad. And just brutal stuff. And yeah, that's how it went down.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you can put with that. I mean, it sounds like though it's been a really good World Cup.
It's been an
People have,
incredible world. Had another incredible game today. Argentina versus Egypt went to the basically final minutes. Argentina was down 2-0 going into the 80th minute of the game and scored 3 goals to win.
damn.
Insane shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, big events like this kind of kind of bring out the best in the world. I mean, hence World
Yeah.
Cup, you know,
Yeah.
and that's exciting, especially for that sport,
Mhm.
and for us to have that moment in which, well, it's here on our soil, and I think we're sharing it with. Isn't there some games took place in Canada and
Mexico and Canada.
Mexico?
Yep.
Yeah, so I
So
mean,
this
even
is the first expanded format World Cup where there's 48 teams in it. So it's too large, mostly, to be handled by a single country at this point.
okay,
So because of that, next World Cup is actually going to be held, I believe, between Morocco, Spain, and Portugal. I want to say those are the host nations. So it's like top of African continent and then Spain, Portugal because they're pretty close in proximity. So it's a joint bid. I think actually some of the games are held in South America too.
okay, okay, beautiful. I love it. All right, so Kevin, I'm going to be honest with you. I am having a hell of a time finding the embedded code for
Sure.
this. I'm going to have to look more into that because it
Yeah. We're,
told me
we're all
one
new to the
thing.
website game. Speaking of websites.
Speaking of websites, that's why
And then
he.
Rib Shot, we're getting to Raw pretty quickly, but we want to go over we got some cool shit going on here first.
Yeah, Ripshot, and don't you worry, you'll kind of be
You're first on
involved
the
with
rocket
it.
docket then.
Yeah, so let me get this set up, fans. So we'll talk about this real quick because I think it's something we need to talk about. Uh, we started a website um, to kind of separate us from the pact, kind of get us going and in different directions, more seen by the seers, as you would say. So real quick, let's get into it, Kevin. We're gonna take a little tour of the old website here, and fans. Let me bring this up. There we go. Let me make this the full screen. All right, fans. So there it is. There's the now this is the start, and as you can see, it's like any other website. You got all your things up there at top that'll tell you where to direct you where you want to go inside the website. Cool feature here, we will have blogs ran by Kevin Kalloway himself, the Chaos Goblin, and all the chaos thoughts that him and the team will be brewing up.
Man, not
And
only that, you know who else just sent me their first article? He sent it to me away from the rest of the group chat.
let's hear it.
Mr. Hypocrisy Jones sent me one, and I'm editing that for him, restructuring it just a little. The content's fantastic, though. So we're going to have more than one person posting on that blog with some thoughts and some pieces there. Probably related to wrestling, but also unrelated because that's who I am as a person personally.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, and that was the whole point of it. We're trying to give you guys, the household, a view into what we do and who we are, and maybe some different looks outside of the wrestling world. But fans, what I want you to really notice here is all of these little buttons, tabs, whatever you want to call, as you're going down, will directly link you to what it says. So the Voice is Facebook, House is Facebook. We got our weekly schedule here. This is also set up by Kevin. He
I did do
took
that.
tipped the reins of that one and got us a schedule out there, so you can check that out. You can also click these little icons. You can go right to our Apple Music or our Spotify links to get the podcast version of all the episodes. And then the latest version that you'll see, this episode, you'll see here on the website. Probably at the end of this show, we'll switch it out and put it up there. But all the newest episodes from what we do here, I think it's minus the WCW show. Yes. That one we are tinkering around with little things here and there, because you can only catch the video on the live or the YouTube replay. If you listen to the podcast, you will not be able to catch the watch along on that one. But this is what I really enjoy, and fans, I hope you guys enjoy this too. We got friends of In Your House, and this is where we highlight our friends. Again, these icons, you click to here, and you're right in Gonzo's Sports Room or Wrestling Room, checking out everything they do. One of our favorites out there, Rib Shot, he's a part of it. Look at this. You click these icons, you go to his Facebook, you go to his YouTube, and I got some of my personal favorite ones up here for Rib Shot. And then the construction worker himself, Big Oja, he's out here. You can click these. There's a link to his Cameo and his Facebook if you ever want to go and hang out with him. But what we're trying to show you here, fans, is everything that we got. And it's the website. You can get in here and you can look. There's going to be so many updates. There's going to be so many different things. A direct link to the merchandise. We are talking about hosting watch-alongs on here because as soon as we can figure it out, we can get a really good-looking live stream from here. So if YouTube ever decided to kick us off, we would still be able to stream here. So fans, stick with us, see what we got going. And Kevin, is there anything you want to say about this one?
I mean, realistically, I think the description of my blog says itself. And then just, man, there's so many things popping for this network and for this website, and a lot of cool things in the works and in the talks. Moves are being made, and that's really what I got.
Very true, very true. Yes, moves are being made, and we're working. We're trying to get up to the next level and see where we're at, and possibly see where we can go from there. And you know, if it's any indication of what we did last year, Kevin, there's some big talks about the Squared Circle Expo this year and
Yep.
what we might be involved in. So stay tuned to that until we can release actual information about that.
Yeah.
Kevin, you know what they're here for. You know why
We're
everybody
here.
stops in. Fighting's one, rib shot, and it's definitely they're getting into fights over soccer. I see in the chat.
Yep.
All right, yeah. I mean, it has been known to bring nations together and tear them apart in the same game.
Yeah.
So you know, House, what's up with you, man? Thank you for joining us. Yes, the website is pretty good. Yes, great job by the entire team. Soccer fights are in the chat. But Kevin, let's get to the Monday Night Raw fights that we've seen. Okay, first, before we get into it, I must say, this is definitely a story-driven Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And
They're setting up more pieces again.
yes, and the roller coaster ride that they took us on in the Cody saga with Sami Zayn, I knew that there was a loop. I seen it when we were waiting in line, and then when CM Punk came and that that garage door opened, the bay door, and he's standing there, and you just hear Chicago come alive. I must say, Kevin, I seen the loop and I enjoyed the loop and I screamed the entire way through the loop because it was a fun moment. It was a moment that we talked about possibly happening. So, Kevin, why don't you give us your thoughts on the opening segment with the attack on Cody Rhodes?
So with the attack on Cody Rhodes, I think I think we didn't telegraph it before this, but I think we did afterwards. Once the attack happened, and once we kind of started getting a feel for, oh, this is Cody's not going to be able to compete in this match. You know, that's what they're aiming for. There was only one person who was going to come back later, which we will get to. But I think that this furthered Gunther's stuff. This furthered Sammy's stuff because he didn't intervene. And this at least took Cody away from facing Sammy right away, right? I think that's basically what we got. And could they have done it differently? Sure, but I think this one worked. I think it worked here to do what they were planning to do, regardless of how you feel about the next things that happen. It worked to get Cody out and slot someone else in while putting together pieces for everyone else.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going through some of the chat because I didn't want to get too far off where they're going with it.
I'm about to hit the hot take because I think
that's kind of what I was debating on.
I don't even really want to get into the segment because I think I'm going to be more LA Knight focused on it than I am Seth. Because Seth went out and cut a promo. It wasn't, man, Seth has had good promos. So I don't want to say he is, I don't know if I would go so far as to say charisma vacuum rib shot. And for people listening, the hot take is Seth Rollins is and always has been a charisma vacuum. He is so incredibly boring. He comes out and moans through his nose for 20 minutes. It's awful. Then LA Knight's music hits. So I think Seth, when he's given too long, I don't know if he always knows what to do with it, if that makes sense. And we're talking also about if you believe that Roman Reigns is some large promo, I would argue that Roman Reigns does similar things to Seth Rollins in that they try and milk too much and say and speak almost around the point, if that makes sense. They don't attack the point head on. Seth, to me, he is a good wrestler and a good worker. I think being a good wrestler does have more cachet than it used to. But Ripshot is ultimately right. Just being a good wrestler isn't enough.
Yeah. Not in this day.
Not in this day and age. And Rollins, to me, Rollins peaked a while ago. In that Rollins, maybe in 2018, 2019, when he was cutting more fierce promos and had more fire in the heart, I think that's when he wasn't a charisma vacuum. So that's why I don't want to say always. However, post-COVID era Seth Rollins, unless he was talking about CM Punk, because that's the only time I believed him, I don't know if I could believe everything he's said since. And I think that's where the charisma vacuum might come in and how that feeling can be made. It just feels like he has one foot out the door at this point, and he's been alluding to it. So it wouldn't shock me if it is one foot out the door. He'll probably still be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know if he'll always get the pops that he used to in coming out when he does return to do, little guest spots here or there and stomp someone when he's 50 years old just to get that big rush again.
Yeah. And
all of that and, pop the crowd. I don't know if he'll get the same pops as people like Punk or Cena. I just don't know. I don't think this tarnishes his legacy by any means, but it feels like he's more on autopilot now.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of glaring. You can see it, and normal viewers are picking up on it. I think I just think that the Seth Rollins, is this the correct word? Iteration right now?
Yeah, iteration would be a good word.
Is lost its edge. There was so we went from when we got Rollins on the main stage, he went from the Shield, being a part of that group, splitting up with them, going to trips with Corporation, and then the evolution of Seth freaking Rollins. Mm-hmm. What has been his evolution since Seth freaking Rollins? Legitimate one. I'm not talking like, I changed how I come out or things like. What has been the next chapter to him? Because I don't think he's even. It doesn't seem like he's even interested in developing another chapter of the Seth Rollins.
I would always argue that when it comes to Seth, he's always been a much stronger heel than a face too.
Okay. I can agree with that.
He's far more interested when we want to hate him than when we want to love him. Because really, deep down, what has he set up for us to love? In the entirety of his career, almost. And Ripshot, maybe I am generous. Maybe I am generous in the sense that Rollins doesn't feel as larger than life as other guys. But I would also argue Triple H didn't either. But there are still room for those guys at the top of the card. And that's where you need your workhorse guys who can put other people over. And that's why I'm saying Seth Rollins is more of a heel than he is of a face. He's a guy who thrives more in the heel role to take things from people rather than give things to people. And I think he's always taken, and it's made us hate, 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 hate. And then when they try and make him a face, the only thing that people want to cheer is his music. Because they want to sing his music.
Yeah.
And it works to get people to just think for a second that we all love him. But I don't think deep down that we do. I think deep down we'll always remember him turning on the Shield, and Shield was so beloved. They do. In my opinion, Triple H and Rollins do belong in the same sentence, in the sense that they are both workers who were devalued in their eras because Rock and Austin existed.
Yeah.
Because Roman and because Punk and because all these other people exist. The song is what's over for Rollins for the most part when he's a face.
No,
I'm not saying that Triple H isn't more larger than life than Rollins was, but he had no comparison when it came to when it came to Stone Cold and when it came to The Rock. So that's more where I'm basing that comparison. Triple H and Rollins do belong in the same sentence in that sense, in my opinion.
And I can back you up on that one. I agree with you there because that was also said about Triple H, that he has no
Triple H was
charisma.
maligned for years.
Yeah.
His love came much later.
100%. And I was one of those people who was just, I absolutely adored Triple H. Much like I'm jumping with Fightins, I adore Rollins. He can't do no wrong in my eyes, except get injured. Just stay healthy, my friend. Stay fucking healthy.
I think there's better guys. There's better guys than Rollins out there. I don't know if I would put him in my top 5 currently, as we go and make a round, like a full rounded wrestler. If that's what I like. I'm talking more like promos and in ring. In ring, Rollins might be a top 5. I would probably agree with that. But it's a decent question, and that's a decent question too. Is DX better than the Shield? I would argue no. No. And the reason I would say that is because really, I'm thinking more of when we're into the Attitude Era verse.
Mm-hmm.
Not the beginning of the Attitude Era, where we're talking just China, just Triple H, just Shawn Michaels. Because I think too much is put on the emphasis of just them.
Okay.
What did DX then evolve into?
A tag team, Road Dogg and Mr. Ass.
It was just a bunch of guys fucking about.
And yeah, it was the boys club.
It was the boys club. DX was the boys club. DX had a good run for about a year, and it was before the boys club existed, in my opinion. I'm not saying the other workers are bad. I'm not saying the other people didn't do their thing. I'm saying when we're looking at these kinds of things, DX pushed a bar so they became a huge symbol. And I think that's where they have the Shield. DX became a symbol of pop culture. And I can't take that away from them. I'm talking about DX, what storylines were they involved in that we cared for? Because DX is a bigger faction than the Shield. Okay. In that they transcended wrestling. They are one of the largest and biggest stables ever. And most money-making, profitable stables in the history of wrestling. But if we then take it back maybe into our universe rather than the outer universe, what memorable feuds did we have for DX? Like DX, not Shawn Michaels, not Triple H, DX.
Okay. The
Nation is probably the only one I can point to.
Well, you can go with the Nation. You can also go with Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. That was a great one.
It's closer.
We could also go into... See, now I'm blurring it because now I'm starting to see Kane in some of the stories, and I know that we've gone too far.
You're going too far.
Yeah, we've gone way too far. So, those two, I would say, well, the Hart Foundation, they had a little feud with them. It wasn't big, and it was like more towards the beginning of when they started getting all the members. But
the Hart's first feud, I think, was good too. Cammy's right there.
Yeah, but that would be my my just throwing out there on the out of the
Sure.
top of my head.
And
What I remember.
wrestling's entirely subjective, so it's also what people grew up on, and it's also where things are.
True.
So
100% on that one.
keep this in mind as I speak on this. I didn't get into wrestling until a post DX era. So because of that, I don't have the same feelings on those front. I had to go back and study those or go back and watch those. I did grow up with the Shield. Because when I was going through college and when I was going through other things in high school, that's when people really came up with the Shield. So maybe I have some knowledge that isn't always there. I wasn't always good about remembering everything, so I could be wrong. And I'm willing to admit, obviously, that DX is a larger known faction easily. It's not even close. And
I just seen this. By
yeah, it happens.
First off,
I
Rib
think-
Shot, did you just not hear my going down it? I
And he's-
believe DX
yeah,
was
it is
better.
you. Now, it it's fair to think all my takes are wrong. Most of the takes that I give are generally opinions. The only time that I would say my takes aren't as opinionated is when we're looking at mechanics of matches and safety in matches. I think those takes are probably closer to like true. But keep in mind, I always premise this is my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at what I know about wrestling and what I remember. It's easier for me to look back at things that happened more recently and take a really professional look at them. I would literally have to go back through 3 years of catalog for both the Shield and DX to do a real comparison.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, there was 3 different sections of DX.
Oh, and
There
we don't
was-
count the '08 one.
No. I'm not counting that one. No.
The 06 one or whatever it was.
Yeah. And honestly, as somebody who watched both of these factions as a wrestling fan and as they were happening, what's really hard is that they both moved meters when they hit the scene.
Yes.
And I think that now you have to, if you're going to even go more down it, now you're going to have to create, okay, the wrestling world as a world needed both factions.
Oh, I agree.
To be made, and
needed both
specifically at the
factions.
times, yeah, and at the times that they both emerged, the company needed them.
Yeah.
So it's gonna get. You know what, guys? We're gonna have to put a pin in it. I
We have
know
to.
that this is one of our most
Oh, yeah.
needle moving conversations we've had, but we're gonna put a pin in it. We might do a Monday night if we have a wall one. We might do one where we just.
I would
talk
love
about
to go
this.
down stables at some point.
I would too, because I think the 4 horsemen can also be thrown in there, and all the different chapters of that story. Now we're getting into insane things. Okay, so so Cody got attacked by
Cody got
Gunther.
attacked.
He got attacked
Seth
by
Rollins
Gunther.
came out. He talked a lot.
Yes.
I don't actually think he got to much of a point, which I kind of alluded to. In 15 minutes on the mic, he kind of talked about how he wanted to prove. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it kind of just. I gotta be honest. I tuned out after about 5 minutes because he was circling the same point.
Yeah.
Rollins came out and basically said he had to beat Roman to prove that hard work matters. Was like the end all be all of the point of it, right? Because Roman was the silver spoon guy that they gave all the opportunities to, which gets into more of like backstage stuff and everything like that. Cool. LA Knight hit. Boy, and Ripshot alluded to this earlier. LA Knight erupted the crowd.
Oh, he did.
Erupted the crowd. And man, how this man hasn't gotten some kind of run at some point is beyond me. It has to be something in the back, because I can't see why they wouldn't run with this at some point. So WWE has this habit of when something gets really hot, they don't capitalize right away. They make sure that it is going to stay hot. That's their habit, because that's what happened with Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, however you want to call him. That's what happened with, hell, I think that's what happened with Ray when he first came into WWE. They made sure before they gave him a WWE title.
Yeah.
They make sure, RVD is a prime example of it.
Oh, yeah, 100% on that one.
They make sure these guys are going to stay hot with the crowd before they do something with them. Now, that brings me to LA Knight. I think they've been holding it, not because the people don't want it, but because they want to make sure that the people keep wanting it. And for good or for bad on the decision making and how you feel about it, I think that's what's happening. And they're finally starting to see that, like, LA Knight was getting cheered out of the building while Rollins was getting booed out of the building whenever he was talking to him.
Yeah.
And some of that probably has to do with Seth Rollins hating Punk and all of that stuff. But some of it had to do with Knight. And if that's what's going to happen there, like, I don't really see a reason to not give LA Knight something.
I think that there's the talk right now in which we could actually say he's a proven formula for the live audience alone. The live audience alone, like you said, Kevin, blew up when his music
exploded.
Like Ripshot said. And we've seen this a bunch of times before with LA Knight specifically.
Yeah.
In which that he can move the needle with the live crowd. But for some reason, they will not pull that trigger with him. But this one looks different. This one looked a little different. LA Knight wasn't fumbling with his words.
Honestly, I kind of like when he fumbles a little bit.
It brings a realism to it.
That's why.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we need someone who's going to fumble everything and not get the points across. That's not what I'm saying, because he has done that in the past too, where he hasn't gotten the right point across.
True.
What I mean about fumbling words is that he's not saying it articulately. And we don't need him to say it articulately with all the grandiose words and any of that. We need him to go out there and be a common man badass who's going to say some things. Like he's gonna talk to you, baby. He almost, in a weird way, he's almost like a Dusty Rhodes. And I don't mean he's entirely Dusty Rhodes by any means, because he's not some American hero or anything like that. I don't mean he's embodying that. I'm saying he's closer to the common man at the top of the card than just about anybody else.
True. True.
He comes out there, jeans and a shirt.
Yeah.
And just says things to people that other people are thinking. And I think that's cool.
Kevin,
and
do you
legitimately different styles. I've been mistaken for Sami Zayn. Quick side story. I was in a locker room with Matt Cross before. M-Dog, I think M-Dog 20. I walked in, his eyes lit up, and he went, "Oh, you're not Sammy." And I thought that was hilarious at the time.
I like that. Yeah, Kevin, we're in an interesting territory with Seth and LA Knight, because to me, I'm starting to see LA Knight, like you said, the common man. He's the closest thing we have to the common man, in which Austin understood that very well and could deliver that very well and became that common man thing. When I look at LA Knight, I think maybe what's been holding him back is the success he had with his, and correct me if I'm wrong with the character name, but the Eli Drake character, in which he was more pompous, he was more Like he was still this guy, but he was a Ric Flair elevated of that type of wrestler when it
Yeah,
came.
he came across more as a shitty human being,
Yeah, yeah,
kind
with
of.
like a wealthy guy. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
I
not
think he.
saying all
I,
wealthy guys
I,
are shitty
I think
human
I
beings.
agree with you though. He leaned too much into that.
Yeah, and this one he didn't.
Yep.
This and for me, as somebody who's said multiple times, I just don't care. I don't. He made me care, and that's the start of me starting to be like, okay, why aren't we giving him these opportunities? He's a proven formula for your live audience. And that's what you guys are wanting to capitalize off of, your
Yeah.
live audience. We've seen it a million times
Million.
now. So I I don't know what else to say about LA Knight. Maybe the fans do. Kevin, if you have anything else to say, let's get it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where people could, as Anthony is stating, see where it's more of a movie star. But in comparison to everyone else at the top of the card, I don't think he feels like a movie star. When you have Roman there, who's a literal movie star,
Yeah.
so when you have him eclipsed in such a way, he feels lesser than because of it. And maybe he's closer to a Johnny Cage movie star. Shout out Mortal Kombat, where he's more of a B movie actor. But you don't want him to feel like a B movie actor if you're going to put him at the top of the card either. So I think they're going for more of a common man, but I can see not getting that vibe from him.
Yeah. Yeah. I I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I thought LA Knight
I liked
stayed.
LA Knight's part in it.
Yeah.
Seth again, like I stated earlier, has kind of been on autopilot.
Yeah, and that's not something we want out of Seth Rollins.
No, well, he's just coasting to the match with Roman because he knows it's going to be over, which it is.
True, true, true. What did we get? What was right after that one, Kevin? I think they went into the tag team match, the Street Profits versus. Well, no, there would have been Paul Heyman talking to the Vision about telling Austin Theory he needs to bring home something for his wise man.
That's about where we got to there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that okay, so they have that back and forth backstage. Logan Paul reassuring everybody that's just tough love. So we had that Logan Paul contribution. But interesting, another interesting story being pushed here. We kind of thought that the Vision was going to be null and void within the next few weeks because of all the injuries, and then it didn't seem like this tag team with Breaker and Theory was really clicking. Then we have a match with the Street Profits, who recently won the tag team titles, and wow, we we had a well, Kevin. Let's just talk about the match. Kevin, what'd you think about the match leading up to a special surprise?
The match itself, I feel, was fine. It did what it needed to do. I don't think. I don't think we weren't breaking any ceilings with it, but we weren't. It wasn't a bad match. It was a TV match.
It was a good match.
It got there. And then we got a nice surprise at the end of it. In my opinion, a nice surprise. Because Maxine comes out as the ref is distracted and low blows, I want to say Angelo Dawkins.
I believe it was Dawkins.
I believe it was Angelo Dawkins. And then, I appreciated this, by the way, because it gets the low blow over. Theory didn't just hit a move after that. He just rolled the some bitch up 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
It made the low blow look a lot stronger. But the addition of Maxine, I really like it because I get that people don't necessarily appreciate Maxine for what she is or anything else, and that's all fine and good. But at least giving her something where she can bite into instead of just being the I am here with Alpha Academy. Like, we don't really know shit about the Maxine character because she hasn't had one.
Yeah.
She has been ditzy blonde girl for a really long time. So now, what can we do with that? What can we do going forward? I really liked doing this, and I like where it's going. And fighting, I don't disagree. I think the Vision was one of the worst stables that we've had. Not because of how it could have gone, but because it never went there. We had high expectations up here, and it was snakebit. We've been talking about this for a calendar year, voice.
Yeah.
It's been snakebit since the beginning. We can't get any of the injuries. Yeah, and the MMA angle didn't work with Maxine either. So I want to see her as a shit heel, because I think this is where she might be able to do something. Because Ditzy Blonde Girl didn't work, and you can't turn Ditzy Blonde Girl into MMA fighter and get any kind of recognition and like thought process behind it. I know I think we were all stoked just to see her change something.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to keep her, you may as well change something. But I think this is a more concrete change that will fit not only her body type, and I know that's weird from people sometimes to hear, but like I don't believe that the slender Maxine is going to be an MMA fighter. I do believe that she could be a shit heel.
No, that makes sense, and because we're looking at it visually.
Yeah.
And that's what hits us first. Visually, we don't.
If she came out in gloves, I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Came out in
100%.
fight gloves, I wouldn't believe it.
And it's like if you would put, even if you would put, like say the UFC was nothing but Oba Femis and Randy Couture's, and then you put any of the female fighters in there, you're going to be like, well, does she look like a fighter? But that's because of the perception that we're having of fighters.
Yeah.
With Maxine, like you're saying, going into the ability to just be a shit heel, especially with Austin Theory beside you.
Yeah.
And the Vision itself, because then you got Logan Paul in the back. Once he's healed, it's going right back to the Vision nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And I say nonsense in the terms of like what they're going to be doing, not what they're doing is nonsense. But anyways, I love this for Maxine. I think this is a fantastic turn for
regardless of how people feel how the Vision has gone. I think this is a really, really good pairing with Maxine.
Yes, 100% on this one.
And I also think, and this is people gonna hate me for this thought because they don't like this guy. I think if you're gonna break off Paul Heyman with somebody, I think it should be Austin Theory. It should be Austin Theory and Maxine. Braun Breaker's going to get over no matter what. Logan Paul is going to be a good shit heel no matter what. The only person who needs a mouthpiece out of this entire group is Austin Theory. And having Maxine there to be his mouthpiece would also work, because I think Maxine cuts a better promo than Austin Theory currently, because I think Maxine knows more of who she is. And dirty Christina Aguilera vibe from Maxine is actually, I get that. That makes sense to me.
No, it does. And hairstyle alone, and then just the way, I don't know, I can see exactly where Annie's coming from on that one, because that, I mean, if we're going with what we know and what we've seen, that's the image we're getting is what they were doing.
1000%.
2000s pop star princess. We got so many people jumping in this chat right now, Kevin. I'm trying to keep up.
Sandra D with a motorcycle jacket, I could see that. We'll get to Sol Ruka in a second, Mean Metal Mike. Just because her match is coming up soon. Breaker is going to be kicked out of the Vision, similar to how Edge was kicked out by Judgment Day. I could see that. If Breaker doesn't get something done soon, singles wise, because I think those tag titles kind of migrate back to Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So I don't know what they'll do with Breaker.
I could see
Austin Theory is like a bomb you don't want to be attached to a bomb. Honestly, from track record, I get that. But this also goes back to what Ripshot said near the beginning. You can't just be a good worker and it be enough. Austin Theory is one of their best mid-card workers. He is really good in the ring. He has not shown much else when it comes to bringing a character or getting you to care with his words or his voice. Like, if that makes sense. Like,
No, it does.
his largest downfall is not his in-ring work, because he does some amazing things in there. He sells his ass off. He does really well. But man, and he's smooth. But man, everything else when it comes to promos and looking like something and anything, it's been a rough go for Theory. I'm hoping Maxine helps.
I think she will.
I think Theory needs to be attached to somebody to work.
Well, and I agree with you on there, Kevin, but also just the pop that it got, kind of,
Yeah.
you could see it kind of ignited a little more in Theory. It kind of gave him that boost, and I like this. I like what they're doing. I think they need to stick with this, and I like where you were at the end of this, having it be Theory and Maxine split off with Paul. I think that would be the best for Theory overall going forward in the future.
Yeah, this is distant future booking.
Yeah,
because Paul needs. It would be a waste unless Paul wants to do this for himself. So that can't speak Paul Heyman's thoughts, but it'd be a waste not to have Paul Heyman on TV if he's willing to be on TV. Put him with somebody.
Yeah, agree with that. All right, Kevin. So after that, we went into was it the Chad Gable and those guys and the Penta IC stuff backstage?
I think somewhat. And I mean, the backstage did what it needed to do, but the match itself, I think, did more later on.
True. In
the sense that, like, we'll just get into this now. I don't think there's too much to talk about other than gushing over the heels in this scenario, quite frankly. Chad Gable had a match. It was a tag match, Dragon Lee and him versus Rusev and Ethan Page, and they're doing a much better job of setting up Rusev as a monster than they have in the last 10 years. In any company, I think.
I like that.
Because AEW tried and they had the right thing with the Redeemer, but they didn't really fire on it. And when he was the best man there, I don't think it worked as him as a monster, just because the gimmick itself was too goofy. And then when he came back, it seemed like they were angling towards it, but it didn't come across. Chad Gable does need new music, Andy.
It sounds so much like they just did an AI and was like, hey.
They put Gable into AI and they said he's an American hero. Give me an American hero with Gable in it.
It sounds so much like it.
It's not good.
I don't like it.
And I do have a theory when it comes to Obafemi and the Paul Heyman guy. I'll get to that when we get to the promo. But and I think I've spoken to it a little bit on the show before. But as far as this, man, they had two heels lay out three faces. And they did it in a really good way. In the sense that it was never 2-on-2 when they laid them out. Right?
Yeah.
They took advantage of Dragon Lee and laid him out. Then Chad Gable tried to come in. They took advantage of the numbers and laid him out. Then Joe Hendry came out. Tried to clear the ring. He got enough fight, but they took him out because the numbers game again. That's generally how you stagger a run-in so that the heels can be on top without making the babyfaces look like a bunch of idiots. Look like ineffective babyfaces. So now we're going into an IC championship gauntlet match.
Yes.
And I think we got something cooking for next week with it.
I agree, man.
You just set up all of these heels to look really dominant. I bet we have a face win. Win. And I bet we have Chad Gable win so that he can face Penta.
Now, okay. I like it, Kevin. Kevin, let's do a rapid wrap up around the last portions. Okay, real quick. Paul Heyman, Obafemi exchange words. Where were you at on that one?
I mean, it got me more hyped a little bit. It doesn't. Realistically, my hype is already up here for Oba versus Brock in a Hell in a Cell, they could have just played video packages for the rest of ever, and I wouldn't.
Agreed.
As long as we got the match.
And that video package that they played, I thought was done very well. I loved all the.
I thought it was done really
stuff.
well. WWE is really good at video packages, and as 100%. Far as Oba Femi being the next Paul Heyman guy, there is a non-zero chance that you have Paul Heyman do that. Did it with Big Show and Brock Lesnar, Survivor Series 2002. I talked about this earlier, I think last month, maybe 2 months ago now, where Paul Heyman walks off with Oba instead of with Brock. I don't hate that. Oba can speak enough by himself that I don't think he needs him. However, I do think you could put Paul Heyman with him and it would be effective.
I can't disagree with you on that one. And it'd be very Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar-esque.
Oh, yeah.
It happen.
Incredibly.
We got Mean Metal Mike chiming in saying Gable wins the IC title with help from Otis turning back to Gable's side.
I would agree with that if he was facing a heel for the title. Where Otis helps him, let's say Ethan Page were to be the current title holder and Rusev is helping him keep it for some reason. Otis turning back there so that Gable could win would make sense, but when he's facing, I don't know, unless you're going to turn Chad Gable and Otis heel again, which I wouldn't, but you could.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, but you could.
But you could.
You could.
You definitely could.
I think he's going over clean on Penta if they're facing each other. Now, you could also put Penta over, and I don't think that hurts Gable.
I don't think so either. But on that one, we'll have to wait and see what they're actually going to do with that.
Yeah.
IC title picture is looking
stacked.
pretty dope. I like it. Speaking of IC titles, so let's get into Sol Ruca defeating Raquel Rodriguez. Kevin, where were you at on this match? I'm just going to let you know now. I thought it was a really good match.
I actually think it was one of Sol Ruca's stronger matches on the main card.
That's what I was going to say.
I think he's had better ones on NXT. So it's, to me, Sol Ruca, and I don't necessarily disagree with Metal Mike, because he said Sol Ruca is going to be a future superstar, like a future great superstar, earlier in the show. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but she's got to do more to be able to work on the fly, because what I see, this is just my eye looking at it, it seems like at NXT they called a lot of their match in the back. So because they called a lot of their match in the back, they could just stick to the steps and do the in-betweens. When you're on the main roster, you're working with people who work on the fly. This isn't people who are calling their entire matches. They know how to work in that ring and give you instructions without anyone knowing. Unless you're Cena and then you yell it to the first row. Which I always thought was hilarious of Cena. One of the GOATs, if not the GOAT. But
I love that, Kevin.
It's just, you can always hear what the next spot was. But Sol Ruca, it's clear how many more miscommunications she's having now, and I think it's because they aren't calling as many things.
Yeah.
And because of that, she just needs to grow more to prove it, I think.
She's
got a shot. She might have a shot at it. She's got a good foundation. The machine's behind her. Let's just ramp up your ability to do the things.
Sure. I like what you're saying. We got Danny chiming in. To me, Sol Ruca is that Nepo baby who took someone else's well-earned spot.
I don't think she's a Nepo baby, though. She's the first generation.
I
don't know that that's accurate.
You know what? That's why Annie said to her. So this is Annie's world and what Annie says.
I'm more attacking the analogy than I am the statement.
Well, before the fight takes off in Kevin's neck of the woods, let's jump into the undisputed WWE Championship match that we had. CM Punk defeated Sami Zayn.
Whoa! Mystery opponent defeated Sami Zayn.
Mystery opponent. My bad, guys. Sorry to bust that bubble real quick. There was a mystery opponent. We didn't know who was going to be there. Kevin, I will say, though, an hour before this, I threw out my prediction with what was going to happen. And if Cody would have showed up, I would have been batting 1,000 on that.
You would have been batting 1,000 if Cody did. So who came out? Well, it's Chicago. Well, we haven't seen this man in a while. Who else could it be but CM Punk? So CM Punk came out there, and I was very curious to watch this match because infamously what I know about the two guys who are working with each other is that Sami Zayn meticulously plans out his matches, and CM Punk is more of a fuck it YOLO guy, will read it out there. So I thought they worked really well with that. With the contrasting styles of that, this match delivered. Like, regardless how you feel about the outcome of it, which I know there are many opinions.
Yeah.
I think the match itself was good. For a Raw match, a 3-segment match, I think they did really well with the false finishes. You bid on some of them. Man, I liked the match a lot. I liked the outcome a lot. In the sense that I know what we're going to next is Cody CM Punk. And I also came to very much terms with the fact that Sami Zayn was not getting a long run with this title. So I was ready for all of that. I understand people's frustration, especially Sami Zayn fans, in the sense that he finally got that title that everyone wanted him to have, and it was taken away in 9 days. I have said this before on the show. I've said another thing on the show too, and I'll get to both, but one thing I've said on the show is the title doesn't necessarily mean as much as you think it does in a lot of some instances. So in this case, the title was meaningful because he won it, not because he was going to hold it. Sami Zayn has been yelling about getting this opportunity for a long time and has been politicking for it. Finally, he got the politic where he got into a triple threat match via his own shitty actions, by the way.
Very true.
Then he won clean. Didn't he? Clean. Now he's held it for only 9 days. And now he has had a mystery opponent. Now, granted, we watched Sami Zayn watch as Cody Rhodes got his ass whooped by Gunther and didn't do anything about it. He's just, not my business. Yep. Not my business.
It's going to be an easy night tonight.
Easy night, no defense, we're good. Then, who fucked him over, Voice? In Sammy's mind, who fucked him over, do you think? It wasn't Punk. Spoiler, it wasn't Punk.
I guess Adam.
Yeah, the GMs.
Yeah.
You know who else is getting fucked over by the GMs? Gunther.
Yeah.
Do you know what might make a cool pairing?
Kevin, don't put that monster together, Kevin. But I want it. Oh my God. I didn't even think about that, Kevin. Honestly, after Gunther attacked Cody, he was out of my mind.
Yeah.
Ooh. And man, this would make it visually. In the story, this makes a powerful tag team. This makes a powerful
and
united.
Both the GMs are former workers, so if they were ever going to have one match, do you think Adam Pearce of ROH fame would want to wrestle Sami Zayn of ROH fame?
Yes.
Do you think Nick Aldis would want to wrestle Gunther, considering that both come from similar styles, NWA style?
Oh my God. Kevin, could we get this at SummerSlam?
I don't know if it'll be SummerSlam. We might let this cook for longer. It might not even be as I'm thinking. We could just have Sami Zayn crash out after this, too. It doesn't necessarily have to be against the GMs.
True.
I think Gunther's at this point has to be against the GMs because of the way that it's phrased. And I agree with Metal Mike. We are at minimum, I think, getting a Gunther versus Aldis match. I don't know if Sammy will play into it and Pierce will play into it. Because it depends on what they want to do with the GMs, I think.
Kevin, but you just walked past my table with New York strips, and you're telling me
I walked past with fucking what's the fillets?
Oh,
fucking filet mignon.
Man, Kevin,
gave you the smell.
I think that would be a fun match for SummerSlam.
I think it would too, but it just depends on when they want to do it, and I think you could get away with doing it at a SummerSlam. I think you could get away with doing it at a Survivor Series if you want to cook it a little longer.
I love that.
We got time to get there for SummerSlam, though.
Yeah, we do have time to get there. If they just want to get there, it could easily be done. But if they want to take their time with it, do you think they would do the flip with GMs running both shows, like that, because that would set up a little crack in between that tag team.
Yeah, there's already a crack between Aldis and Pierce.
Yeah, 100%.
There's already so they don't need to. They could tease that crack a little more, but it's also already very evident.
So you
Even
think that?
based on this Raw, I don't know if they'll. I don't know if they'll tease that as much. They might. Um, I don't know because I don't know if you're going to put Gunther and Sammy together yet. Is the big thing.
Yeah, that's the. Okay,
That's the biggest leap to me.
that's the big
Putting
piece
the
of the puzzle.
GMs together, I don't think is as big a
You
leap.
could, yeah, you could easily do
I
that.
think you can more easily do that, and especially it's not a leap to do Aldis versus Gunther. Not at all. The leap is Gunther Sammy. That's the leap.
Man, that's an interesting leap, though. And from my vantage point, we can make that leap.
I think we could.
We could make it, and we'll be
It-
dry. We'll be
oof.
perfectly fine.
We'll be fine. And as far
Man.
as Punk being the one to win this title, I know I saw a lot of hoopla about it, to quote my trainer. I saw a lot of it. I get it. Truly. I get it. You're seeing another older guy win the title again. You're sick of CM Punk as the champion, right? I get that. Here's the thing. Who else are you going to put in this position currently that you've built? And I'm not saying we can't get other guys there because I think we can. I think we can and we should. We need to start moving away from older guys because the older guys are going to go soon. Roman can't have that much more time in him. Rollins doesn't have that much more time in him. That was alluded to in the promo. Punk doesn't have that much more time in him. He's got probably 2 to 3 years if he's lucky. Cody has the most time out of everyone, but I think Cody also has the crux of the heel turn. Because if you heel turn Cody, I think all of a sudden his lifeline is there. He's fine. But turning Punk heel at this point, I don't think will go over as well unless you do it in a way that works. Orton is gone soon. There's no way he's around that much longer. Assuming that he wasn't one of the guys that the contract is expiring on because he wouldn't take less money. Which, if they got rid of Orton, would be a stupid fucking move.
Yeah.
But I've seen crazier shit from this company. And Punk holding this title, I think, is good if you are using it to get to either drive a Cody Rhodes heel turn or to eventually get someone else over. I think it works either way there. But you better have something cooking. Because Punk can't hold that title for long and it be Punk will give you good matches. And he'll make you forget for a second. And he'll make you forget during the matches. But he's not going to make you forget on the in-betweens. And because of that, what I mean by in-betweens is the weeks in between seeing him. When you see him, he get your blood pumping, adrenaline going, good to go. Rah, rah, CM Punk's a good promo, duh.
Yeah.
But when you sit down and you have time to marinate on other things we could be doing, I think you're going to end up running into some railroads and some issues when you have Punk hold this title for too much longer, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does because, Kevin, we're seeing grown men who are either in our respective age ranges or older than us flipping off a camera for 4 minutes
Yeah.
after CM Punk won.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. But at some point in time, guys, we all have to realize this is just a story being told. And there's multiple chapters to it. Sammy getting that win and holding that title was the first step.
Yeah.
They seen what he can do. It wasn't bad. There was fans that were eating this up, and it wasn't a small group of people. It was
No.
a large group of the universe of WWE. So I have confidence that this isn't the only title that we're going to see Sammy hold
No.
of the world heavyweight variety. So I'm sitting back for the ride because, like Kevin's pointed out, does this take us off the exit of the Sammy title run? 100%. but it opens up a lot more avenues, and it kind of puts Sammy into a position in which he's going to do his best character work, and those usually produce some of his best matches when he gives his whole heart into it. So I'm looking forward to this. It was predictable. We knew
Oh
where
yeah.
they were. We
Second Punk came out, there is no fucking way Sammy was leaving with that title.
exactly.
Otherwise, the whole arena would have rioted.
Yes, and you would have to usher Sammy out of there in so many protective scenarios because Chicago fans are insane. It's
Insane.
it's crazy seeing them. All right, Kevin. Before we head out, why don't we give our quick grade of this Raw? Where were you at with this one?
I'd give it probably a B minus. It didn't surprise me. It didn't shock me in a lot of ways. It gave me good matches. It gave me good progressions. Uh, it was. I don't want to say it was run of the mill because I think we got better matches out of it than just a run of the mill, and we got more matches than we usually do, which is also good. So I'm gonna give it a B minus in the sense that it didn't really drive a needle for me, but it did what it needed to do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, Kevin, I'm gonna go an A minus on it, and
Sure.
it's going to be because of the stories that are being told. We have a possibility of Baron Corbin coming back, courtesy of Danhausen.
Ooh.
There are a lot of rumors that somebody that he is cloning, that could be how they're bringing in Corbin again. It's there's a lot of talk out there, fans. Go check that stuff out. But for me, yeah, I'm gonna say A minus. The stories being told on this one. This was a really good Raw. I love the production of it all. The the image we got of not only Cody being beaten by Gunther, but CM Punk walking through the halls, coming out there, and then boom, music hits. Everybody erupts, and to see wrestling fans uh, react that way, I absolutely love it. I had goosebumps. I mean, and I haven't had goosebumps for a CM Punk moment in a long time. So
Yeah.
it was fun. I see where we're going, and I'm okay with the ride. So fans, I hope you are too. But you do know me and Kevin will be here to cover it every Tuesday night. So before we head out, Kevin, let them know what you're doing. Anything, final thoughts, anything you want to talk about, Kevin, send them out.
I've talked enough of my thoughts, so I'll hit with the where you can follow me. You can follow me on Facebook at Kevin Kalloway, Instagram at Kalloway Kevin, also Twitch.tv / Kevin Kalloway Pro. I'll be streaming Silk Song, starting up Silk Song tomorrow, the Hollow Knight sequel. I've heard it's more difficult, and I'm ready.
Yeah, I
People have told me I'm not ready, but I'm the most ready.
he's the most ready, fans.
The most
You
ready.
know that. And you can,
And then on Friday I'll be back again with a roguelike Friday before going up north for a bachelor party this weekend that I'm hosting
Beautiful.
for a
Kevin.
dear friend. And of
Kevin,
course, you can catch Kevin's first blog on the IYH website on Friday.
beautiful. I love it. Kevin he's doing some work, guys. So go check out everything he's doing and what the blogs and what you're going to be able to read and see more into the mind of Kevin Calloway. Be careful. Be careful out there.
Careful.
Fans, if
Careful
you
what you
enjoyed if you enjoyed all this chaos and all the chaos we will produce next time, why don't you stop in next Tuesday and check us out? We're at 6:15. It's me and Kevin Calloway, where we talk Monday Night Raw. Yes, it's the Monday Night Raw review show on the In Your House network, brought to you by In Your House and the Windows Liquors. Fans, this was a fun one. We enjoyed your interactions. It got too much to where I was like, man, I should hire somebody just to read the comments for
Yeah.
us. But we will do better on hitting more of those next week, and we are going to be working. I already figured out my next problem with the website, so we will be working on that embedded code and getting that directly on the website. So you will be able to watch us directly from there. And who knows, maybe you'll order some things from the merch store or something. Who knows? Who knows? But if you like what we do here, it's the Wednesday show. It's the WCW Watch Along, where me and House That's Right we watch. WCW. We go back in time and we watch the old Nitros, we watch the old matches, we watch, well, you'll have to stay tuned with all the things we watch. But if you watched our ECW watch along show, you'll get the idea. You'll understand where we're going. But that is 6 p.m. on a Wednesday, every Wednesday, with me in house for the WCW watch along. Outside of that, it's our one show that we talk about AEW Dynamite. It's the AEW Dynamite, yeah, review show where me, OG Tony, and House sit down and we talk AEW Dynamite. We talk about everything that we loved, everything in between that, and everything that we loathe. And then we wrap it all up with you guys, where we all talk about how much we love wrestling. Wrestling is the key here, and fans, wrestling is what we bring to you. Though the AEW Dynamite is Thursdays at 6 p.m. Fans, the website is off and kicking. Go and check that out. Enjoy it. It's at Google Sites. Type in sites, Google /inyourhouse.com, and you'll be there. And guess what? It's a fun time. It's a great time. It's an in your house time. And we will catch you next Tuesday.